Okay, welcome to Eco 501. This is section 1, week 4, fall 2021 semester. So this week we are going to look at some concepts, some basic concepts on how to read a graph, how to read a slope, how to interpret a slope. These concepts we'll be using later on, and then graphs we will also be using. For some of you, what we will be covering today is going to be absolutely elementary. You might think that there was no point in covering it, but for others, mathematics is something very ferocious. We all fear mathematics. That's why we're going to cover it. And let's get to the slides. Can you see the slides?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Lovely. So this week we will be covering these 4 topics. Number 1, how to read a graph. What is a slope? How do we interpret ratios of slopes? And some basics of demand and supply. And at the end, what we'll do, we'll talk about what the topics that we will be discussing next week. Next week, we will be discussing actually extension of topic 4 and another topic which we will be introducing called elasticity of demand. The references of this week are from Stiglitz and Walsh, McGuigan et al. Et al. Means and others. So the page numbers are given in the slides. The PDFs of the references are available from the Google Drive. So you see the page numbers there, and then you can just refer to the respective chapter. Okay, first of all, the first topic that we're going to do is how do we read a graph and how do we interpret a slope? Because we'll be using these 2 concepts quite a lot. And the basis is of this our analysis today is high school maths. For some of you, it's going to be too easy, but nevertheless, let's first of all define what we mean by a graph. A graph formally is actually a 2-dimensional expression of a relationship between 2 variables. Now, why do we need a 2-dimensional relationship? Okay, let me. In economics and also in other sciences that discuss practical matters, we are obsessed with the concept of cause and effect. Okay, this is the cause, this is the effect. For example, in elementary microeconomics, which you may have come across in your undergrad, you came across a demand function, right? Did you come across a demand function?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so demand function we just defined as quantity demanded is a function of x. So if you have a mathematics background, you know that quantity demanded of x is a function of the price of x is actually a representation or a variation of y is a function of x, whereby conventionally x, the variable on the right side, is always the independent variable, y, the variable on the left side, is always the dependent variable. So this begs the question, what do we mean by independent and what do we mean by dependent? Does anybody have any idea what we mean by independent variable and dependent variable? All of us here, does anybody have an idea on what we mean by independent variable and dependent variable?
Sir, an independent variable is one which does not depend on anything else, like time. Time is an independent variable. And a dependent variable is one which changes according to the independent variable.
Your answer, the second part is correct, the dependent variable. Independent variable, the whole point of the definition that we just said, it's the graph is a 2-dimensional presentation. That means 2 events are happening one after another. One event is happening first, the next event is happening after the first event. The first event is the independent variable, the second event is the dependent variable. Now, coming back to your definition of a dependent variable, that the dependent variable changes because of the independent variable. Just because two events happen one after another, we cannot randomly say that the first one is always an independent variable, second one is the dependent variable. The relationship has to be because of X and after X, Y changes. We'll get once we get to the slides, it'll be more clear. Let me repeat myself two more times. Y is a function of X. From high school maths, we know that Y is the dependent variable, X is the independent variable. The one on the right is the independent, the one on the left is the dependent. Now we're just going to change the jargon, sorry, the language, that Y changes after X and because of X. Both these two factors have to be working at the same time. Then we can say that the two variables have a functional relationship. Then we can say quantity demanded is a function of the price of X. Because price of X changes first, therefore quantity demanded of X is influenced. Is that clear?
Sir, basically, X is the cause and Y is the effect, right?
Yes, cause and effect. Cause is the change that happens first. Effect is the change that happens after the cause and because of the cause. The second condition is very important: after the cause and because of the cause. This will become more evident. So, a graph is basically a two-dimensional expression of a relationship between two variables. This relationship may be functional, it may be an association which we know as correlation. Have you come across the term correlation?
Yes, sir. Correlate.
Okay, good. We are going to try to distinguish between these two today, not with using mathematics or any technical matters, but using some common sense, because I assume that you've already done that. Now, conventionally, when we are saying that it's a two-dimensional presentation, then we have a horizontal axis, we have a vertical axis. So on the horizontal axis, we put one variable. On the vertical axis, we put another variable. So by convention, ছোটবেলা থেকে আমাদেরকে বলে দেওয়া হয়েছে এটা ডান হাত, this is our right hand. So আমরা ছোটবেলা থেকে we have said that this is our right hand. If somebody told us that this is our left hand, we would have read it as left hand. So mathematics convention is X is always on the horizontal axis, Y is always on the vertical axis. Those of you who are familiar with mathematics also know that X by the mathematics convention is the independent variable, right? On the horizontal axis. Y by mathematical convention is the dependent variable on the vertical axis.
Yes, sir.
Right? Does everybody else agree?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we are going to break this convention today. So the x-axis is the horizontal axis and horizontal. When we use the word horizontal, doesn't our calculation go like this? We're moving horizontally.
Yes, sir.
Now, except for Arabic, Urdu, Farsi, and Hebrew, these four languages, all the languages that we know move from left to right. Biologically or evolutionarily, we are programmed to look at a left to right movement as a positive movement horizontally, and the opposite movement, right to left, as a negative movement. Isn't that the case?
So in graphs, sir.
Yes.
Yes.
Any left to right movement, biologically or evolutionarily, we are programmed to read left to right as positive movement, right to left as a negative movement. Similarly, on the y-axis, biologically and also evolutionarily, we are programmed to read bottom to up as a positive movement, up to bottom as a negative movement. That's it. So a graph is a two-dimensional expression of a relationship, and the x-axis, which is the horizontal axis, is a left to right movement, positive, and right to left is negative. Okay, what's the next one? Okay, this is what we are going to look at. Causation. Causation, the moment we use the word causation, another word automatically comes, and that is effect. So something the cause is always the change that happens first, and the change that happens second, in this case y, changes after x and because of x. Both after and because have to hold for a functional relationship. We are going, here we have three examples. Quantity demanded of x is a function of the price of x. Most of us have done an elementary economics course in our undergrad, so we are very much familiar with a demand function. Those of us who have not done economics before ever in our lives are at least familiar with y is equal to function of x. So x changes first, the variable on the right side. Y changes after x and because of x. Let's give now three examples. The first one is a functional relationship. The price changes first, then and because of price change, quantity demanded changes or does not. Aina? Price change, excuse me, price changes first, then and because of price change, quantity demanded changes. Isn't this a functional relationship? Because and after?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now look at this one. Have you experienced a situation where you're watching a cricket match or a football match, whatever, and the bowler is bowling, say Taskin. Just before he makes the delivery, one of your friends enters the room, and then Taskin takes a wicket. এরকম ঘটনা ঘটে না? You're watching a cricket match. The bowler of your team is bowling, is going to give a delivery. Just before that, somebody enters the room, Mr. X, okay, and then Mr. Y loses his wicket. Can we say that these are functionally related, these two events?
No,
Are
sir.
these-
No,
cannot-
sir.
The wicket happened after the person entered the room, but was it because of the person entering the room?
No, sir.
No, sir.
So when we want to establish a functional relationship, the two events have to happen after one another, and also second one has to have happened because of the first one. So in this case, say a guest comes to the house, the first event, your team wins a match, happens later. These two events are random. একটা আরেকটার চেয়ে পরে ঘটছে ঠিকই, but the after clause is happening because one happens first, second happens later, but not the because of. This clause does not hold. আচ্ছা, এইটা কি? Two children of professionals and high income parents get better jobs. Economics, in economic research, we sometimes ask these questions. Do children of professionals and high income parents get better jobs?
Most of the cases.
Yes, sir. Most of the cases, yes, sir.
Okay, but can we say because my father was professional, because my parents were high income, that's why today I'm a university teacher? Can I say this?
So not certainly, but sir,
That's why the last example is an example of correlation. We cannot establish, as concretely that the children of high income people and professionals get better paid jobs. There's a tendency But can we establish it as a cause and effect, like quantity demanded is a function of the price of X?
No, sir.
Can't do it there. But at the same time, these two events are not random. Like Taskin is just going to bowl, your friend enters and Taskin takes a wicket. They are not random events. They do have some kind of relationship, but this relationship is not concretely established to the state or to the amount, level that we can concretely say that yes, one has caused the other and one has happened after the other. So these are examples of correlation. Whatever models we are going to develop now, we will assume that they are functional relationships. That means the X changes first because of X, and after X, Y changes. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, lovely. So we've got one thing clarified. Okay, what's the next one? এখন দেখো, এটা তো আবার একই জিনিস চলে আসছে মনে হয়। একই জিনিস আচ্ছা আচ্ছা, do I need to get into this nitty-gritties of this one? You understand these graphs, don't you? Huh?
Yes, sir.
Okay, but where is my tablet not working? I have. Anyhow, I'll play for it later. Acha, in economics, we are only interested in the first quadrant. I think everybody understands that, right? Because other than the first quadrant, all other three quadrants, at least one of the variables is negative. In economics, we don't we can see observe price falling, but we don't observe a negative price. We can observe quantity falling, but we never observe a negative quantity. That's why in economics, we are only interested in the first quadrant. Okay. So,
Is there any special reason why economics don't deal with negative numbers?
okay, the reason, just a second. The reason is very simple. If this is price and this is quantity, okay, this is the normal type of graphs that you have seen before, right? Can price ever be negative?
No.
So if price were negative, then price could have been on the third and the fourth quadrant. If quantity were negative, quantity could have been on the second and the third quadrant, right? Quantity going to be negative, why?
No,
Can you
sir.
No, sir.
ask for -2 kgs of rice? You might say that the quantity falls for whatever reason, price may drop for whatever reason, but price and quantity will never be negative. That is why all variables, except for some very few exceptions, economics deals with only the first quadrant, where both the variables are at least 0. Got the answer now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's get back to the slides. So এখানে কি, there's just a second, কোনটা দেখি, DVDs হচ্ছে X. Okay, in this example, table 2.1, it's in McGuigan, so you can check it over there. This is X-axis, DVDs, CDs are Y-axis. Can somebody see a relationship between the CDs and the DVDs? A particular relationship?
Yes,
If I sacrifice one DVD, I get 2 CDs. If I sacrifice another one DVD, I get another 2 CDs. If I sacrifice another DVD, I get another 2 CDs. তার মানে একটা রেশিও পাওয়া যাচ্ছে না?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So we can, if we just look at the data, forget about presenting it in a graph, we can see that 6 DVDs, our budget says that we can't buy any CDs. But if we sacrifice one DVD, then we get two more CDs. If we sacrifice one DVD again, we get two more CDs again by the same ratio. So what happens is, this is the concept of the slope. The slope is basically, if I sacrifice 1 unit of X, how many more units of Y do I get? If I sacrifice 1 unit of Y, how many more units of X do I get? Now, we are all familiar that a slope is defined as del Y by del X, right? Are we all familiar with it? That a slope means del Y by del X?
No,
Are we all,
sir.
who said no?
Sir, Farhan bin Salim.
Who said no?
Farhan bin Salim.
Acha, so you're not confident that a slope means del Y by del X, right?
I never heard it.
Oh, okay. Maybe you saw it in a different way. No problem. But you are observing that if we sacrifice 1 unit of DVD, we get 2 CDs. If we sacrifice another unit of DVD, we again get 2 CDs, right? See, 2 plus 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. আর এদিকে 1 করে কমে যাচ্ছে, তাই না?
Yes, sir.
Okay, lovely. Now we look at this in the graph. Use the pen. Okay. At 0, when we don't buy any DVDs, we can buy 12 CDs. Go back to the graph. When we buy 0 DVDs, we can buy 12 CDs. 0, 12. So, okay. So this is when we buy these 0 DVDs, we get 12 CDs. Acha. If we sacrifice, want to buy one extra DVD, we have to sacrifice 2 CDs. See, two. If we want to buy another one DVD, we have to sacrifice 2 more CDs. So basically, what we are doing is, let me go to the whiteboard. Mhm. This one was CDs, not the DVDs. Now this was CDs. CDs, this was DVDs. So this 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So this was 0. When we don't buy any DVDs, we get 12 CDs. When we buy one DVD, we get 10 CDs. When we buy 2 DVDs, we get 8. When we buy 3 DVDs, we get 6. Okay. এখন দেখা যাক, what do we mean by del Y by del X? Mr. Farhan, you have not seen a slope like this, right? Farhan?
Yes, sir. No, wait. I seen this somewhere.
It's okay. Del Y means change in Y. Del X means change in X. Acha, what do we mean by change? Change, we are observing 2 points. This is the first point. This is the second point. So how do we measure the change? This minus this, right?
Yes, sir.
The first point, after the change, the point goes over here. So if we want to observe the change, then we define this value minus this value, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. If it was in reverse direction, we started off from here, we end up here. Then when we want to calculate the change, we calculate this minus this, right? Okay. Now let's generalize it. Change means post minus pre. Whenever we observe a change, for example, tomorrow your salary has changed, how do we calculate the salary? The post salary minus the pre salary. Salary বাড়তে পারে কমতে পারে, that's a different thing, but when we calculate post minus pre, okay, then we have calculated a change. So del y means the change in y, last y minus the first y. Del x means change in x, the last x minus the first x. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, in that case, we can go back. Okay. Now, when we say change in y, y post minus y pre. So, if the change is like this, what is the change? This is pre, this is post. Then 10 minus 12 হবে না? Minus 2.
Yes, sir.
If we calculate like this, then the change will be plus 2, right? The last observed value is 12. The first observed value is 10. So it will be plus 2, right? Plus 2 is the change. বেড়ে গেল। এখানে minus 2 is the change. কমে গেল, ঠিক আছে? Clear এবার?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now what we want to see is slope calculates del y by del x. More generally, slope calculates change in dependent due to change in independent. We read this as change in dependent due to change in independent. Achha. When we calculate speed, do we calculate in terms of time? Distance in terms of time?
Yes, sir.
Okay. That means time is the reference variable against which we are calculating distance. This we define as speed. Acha. আমরা যখন ক্রিকেট খেলতে যাই, we calculate something called run rate, right?
Yes, sir.
And we say that the required run rate is 8 runs per over. তার মানে কি আমরা একটা ওভারের সাপেক্ষে রানগুলোকে হিসাব করছি না? Our target is get 48 runs more. How many overs do we have? We have say 6 overs left. So our asking run rate is 8 per over. So whenever we a ratio is basically comparison. Ratio is nothing but comparing one thing against another. But the one that is on the denominator at the bottom is the reference variable against which we are comparing. So if we say 5 kilometers per hour, then this is our x variable over here, right? Enough?
Yes, sir.
Okay, if we say 8 runs per over is our asking run rate, then this over is our reference variable. এবার লজিকটা বোঝা গেছে? You understand the logic now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now এখন যেটা আমাদের জিনিসগুলো স্লাইডগুলো আরো ক্লিয়ার হবে। Okay, we are going to do del y how many types of distinct values can you have in a ratio? Can somebody answer this question? I'll give you a clue. A ratio is nothing but comparing something which is at the top in reference to something which is at the bottom. Distance, kilometers, per hour is our speed. Now, when we compare one thing against another, there can be only three possible conclusions. Del y is greater than del x, তার মানে কি? Ratio greater than 1 না? Is that okay? If del y is greater than del x, then the ratio is greater than 1 na?
Yes, sir.
Acha, another possibility is del y is less than del x. Then the ratio is less than 1, right? And the last possibility is if the change in y is equal to the change in x, then the ratio is equal to 1. Is there any other logical possibilities when we compare del y with del x? এর বাইরে আর কোনো possibility আছে? Are there any other logical possibilities outside these three?
No, sir.
So when we are looking at a ratio can have distinctively only three values. It can be greater than 1, where the thing that we are comparing is greater than the reference variable. It can be less than 1, where the variable that we are comparing is less than the reference variable. Finally, it can be equal to 1. এর বাইরে আর কিছু হবে না. Next thing is, if it becomes greater than 1, what is the maximum value that it can become? I know.
Yes, sir.
The ratio carries on becoming larger and larger and larger and larger. Then what happens? This thing comparatively becomes smaller and smaller, right? The denominator. So how small can the denominator become? It can become 0, and then this thing the ratio becomes infinity, right? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Second case was the ratio is becoming smaller. So what is the extreme value of becoming smaller? Isn't it 0? At least small হলে কত? Minus is in absolute terms -1 is actually 1. But once something becomes smaller and smaller, can it become less than 0?
No, sir.
It can't. So when we are looking at these three possibilities, that ratios can either be greater than 1, then the extreme cases it becomes infinity. Ratio becomes less than 1, extreme cases it becomes 0. And this is just an ideal situation. We're not interested in this one. Okay, now let's get back to our slides. Okay. এখানে দেখা যাক rise and run. Why are we using these words? Rise শব্দটা শুনে কি মনে হচ্ছে we are moving up and down on the vertical axis? If I say rise, can you visualize yourself moving up and down the vertical axis?
Yes, sir.
If I say run, can you visualize yourself moving along the horizontal axis, left to right or right to left?
Yes, sir.
So that's why the slope is defined as rise by run, which is actually del y by del x. Now this is the mathematics convention. এখানে স্লোপটা হচ্ছে -2, ঠিক আছে? আচ্ছা, now we have to go back to our, oh dear. If you don't understand, please let me know, huh? Change in dependent divided by change in independent. This is equal to del y by del x, which we are rise by run. Acha. And we are defining it as y. We are defining it as x. And what is the functional relationship? Y is a function of x. Now, if we look at economics, what have we done with sorry. What have wait, how do I get rid of the eraser? I don't want the eraser. Okay. Right? How do I get a line back? Draw. Oh, okay. Okay. When we look at economics, Hari, what's happening today? Isn't this how we define economics? Price on the vertical axis and the quantity on the horizontal axis. We're familiar with this, right? তো তোমরা কি আসো না চলে গেছো?
Yes, sir.
sir.
And this is how we write the functional relationship, right?
Yes, sir.
আচ্ছা খেয়াল করছো? This is the independent variable on the right. Where is the independent variable? Isn't it on the vertical axis? This is the independent variable in mathematics convention. This is the dependent variable in mathematics convention. And then we wrote y is equal to function of x, horizontal axis, vertical axis. But when we write a functional relationship in economics, qd is equal to function of px, there's no problem. But when we present it in a graph, then the vertical axis becomes the independent variable. Can you see the difference? Because the variable on the right is always the independent variable. The horizontal axis becomes the dependent variable. Why? Because the variable on the left, it becomes the dependent variable. Is that clear now?
Sir, একটু আরেকবার বলতে পারবেন?
Well, I don't think we have. Do we have any foreign friends here? Yes or no? Okay, আমি বাংলায় বলি। Mathematics x by definition and convention is always the independent variable. Y by definition and convention is always the dependent variable. And we write it always as y is a function of x. And we know that on the right side যে variable থাকবে, that is our independent variable. সেটা কোথায় আছে mathematics এ? Horizontal axis এ আছে না?
জি sir.
Acha, look at economics. We are writing the function as quantity is a function of the price of x. তাহলে কি independent variable কি horizontal axis এ না vertical axis এ?
Vertical.
Vertical. তার মানে isn't it just the opposite of the mathematical convention?
Yes, sir.
When we are writing quantity demanded on the left side, y on the left side over here, the variable on the left side by definition is always the dependent variable. Mathematics convention y is on the vertical axis. Economics convention ki? Where is quantity demanded? Isn't it on the horizontal axis?
Yes, sir.
So in mathematics, independent is x. In economics, independent is on the y-axis. Just ulta jabe. So the economics convention এর সমস্যাটা কি? We still have dependent by independent. কিন্তু এখন dependent কোনটা? Quantity demanded. So we have del Q. Independent কোনটা? Price. So we have del P. এটা কি? Isn't it the reverse of the mathematics? আমি জিনিসটা কারো ইয়ে করি। Isn't this del x by del y? Yes?
স্যার স্ক্রিনটা ইয়ে হয়ে স্যার নিচে চলে গেছে।
চলে গেছে না? চলে গেছে। তাহলে তাহলে কি এটা কি del x by del y না?
Yes, sir.
তাহলে দেখো, when we are talking about mathematics, this by definition has always been a slope from high school. But in economics, this becomes the dependent variable, this becomes the independent variable. So when we express a slope in economics, we are actually not writing del y by del x, but del x by del y. This is the inverse of mathematical slope. Okay? Here, often দেখি, if the mathematical slope says del y by del x is equal to +2, then the economic slope will say del x by del y is equal to half. তাই না? Yes?
Yes, sir.
So এত কথা বলার মূল উদ্দেশ্যটা হচ্ছে, since we have reversed the axes in economics, Mr. Marshall did this, and after that it remained a convention in economics. Those of you who have mathematical knowledge will know that horizontal axis, horizontal slope কি এরকম না?
Yes, sir.
Why? Because it is horizontal to the independent axis. But in economics, if you see a straight line like this, the slope becomes infinity. Why? This straight line is actually vertical to the vertical axis, which is the independent axis. তো ওখানে 90 ডিগ্রি করছে না? আচ্ছা, ঠিক
Yes,
আছে।
sir.
So that's why এই কথাগুলি এখন আমরা স্লাইডে যাই। Let me go to the slides now. Oh, this one we have already discussed. Change means post minus preposition. We have seen this in the graph. Positive change means it's increasing. Negative change means it's decreasing. And the final ratio can be either positive or it can be negative. Now the values of the ratio. এগুলো আমরা ঠিক করেছি. There can be only three possible ways. Greater than 1, and if it carries on becoming greater than 1, the maximum value that it can become is infinity, where del x, the change in the denominator becomes 0. আরেকটা হচ্ছে যদি কমতে থাকে তাহলে the minimum value that it can attain is 0. আচ্ছা, এখন দেখি, এখন আমাদের ম্যাথমেটিক্স এর বাহাদুররা আসো। Is this a zero slope? This one?
Yes, sir.
Does everybody agree with me that this is a zero slope?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now in economics, this will become an infinite slope. Why? Look at this one. এটা 90 ডিগ্রি কোন অ্যাঙ্গেল কোন অ্যাক্সিস এর সাথে আছে? x অ্যাক্সিস এর সাথে না?
Yes, sir.
In mathematics, x-axis is the independent variable. So if it is making 90 degree with the independent variable, it becomes infinity. In economics, the independent variable is the vertical axis. তাহলে এখানে কি, isn't this line making a 90 degree with the vertical axis?
Yes, sir.
So in economics, this zero slope becomes infinity. Because we have said del y by del x is the mathematics slope, del x by del y is the economic slope. So এখানে যদি এটা যদি বলো যে না, this is a mathematical function, then it is creating 90 degree with the independent axis, so it's mathematical. So it's infinity. But if I say that this is an economics function, then this line, isn't it parallel to the independent axis, the y-axis?
Yes, sir.
তাহলে কি অ্যাঙ্গেলটা তখন 0 হয়ে যাবে না? Will the angle then become 0?
Yes, sir.
তখন এটা স্লোপটা 0 হয়ে যাবে। Otherwise এটা slope always mathematics is 90, economics is 0. This one mathematics is 0, economics infinity. Can এবার বোঝা গেছে তো ব্যাপারটা? হ্যাঁ?
Yes, sir.
Okay, lovely. Then we can move on to the next one. আচ্ছা আচ্ছা, এটা হচ্ছে আমাদের ডিমান্ড এন্ড সাপ্লাই। আচ্ছা, most of us have done demand and supply in undergrad, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So since we've done demand and supply, I'll try to keep it as simple as possible, as much as we need for this course. বেশি কঠিন করে লাভ নাই জিনিসপত্র। আচ্ছা, this now we are going to a new book, McGuigan. We are going to look at chapter 2 and chapter 3. Chapter 3 will look next class. Today's class is 28 to 62. There's nothing to be worried about, although there's lots of pages here. We are not interested in everything. Okay, what we are important is, what is the price? We have said that it's a signal for the buyers and the sellers. I'm using the word buyers in plural, so I am not looking at one buyer's response to price. I'm looking at all the buyers' response to price. Similarly, I'm using the word seller in plural. So if the market price is given, how are the sellers, all the sellers responding? So this is the initial way that we look at the supply and demand. So what we want to see is, if this is the market price, is demand more than supply, or is supply more than demand? এর বাইরে আর কিছু হবে? No, sir.
সমান।
The market price, we have a quantity demanded, we have a quantity supplied. So if we compare these two, only three things can happen. At the market price, demand is greater than supply, demand is less than supply, demand is equal to supply. এর বাইরে আর কিছু হবে কিনা? You tell me.
No, sir.
So at the market price, if demand is more than supply, you tell me, is there a shortage in the market, or is there a surplus in the market?
Shortage.
Shortage. If there is a shortage, the sellers are aware that there is a shortage. The market price ki hobe? The sellers know that the buyers are willing to pay a higher price, right?
Yes, sir.
So the market price will start to go up. So this is a basic thing that even if we don't look at the graph, our common sense tells us this is the market price. People are demanding more than what is being supplied. That means people are willing to pay a higher price for more quantity. So price goes up. The other case is that demand is less than supply. That means supply is more. So when supply is more, price will definitely have a downward tendency to fall, right? যখন surplus থাকে, if business houses find that their stock is unsold, what they do? What do they do? Don't they reduce the price with sales and etc.?
Yes, sir.
So what the business houses do, they reduce the price with sales and etc. Okay, so now economics is obsessed with this one. If at the market price supply is equal to demand, will there be any change in price? If at the market price supply is equal to demand, will there be any change in the market price?
No, sir. I don't
No,
believe.
sir.
Otherwise, what happens if demand is more than supply? Price has a tendency to increase. People are willing to pay a higher price. If supply is greater than demand, there's surplus in the market, price tends to fall. If supply and demand are same, the price remains unchanged. Okay, এই যে এখানে। So if the price is over here, P1, what will happen? Price will have a tendency to fall. If the price is at P0, price will have a tendency to rise. If the price is at PE, price will not change at all. Achha, there's another thing in demand supply analysis is that the demand is what we intend to buy, not what we actually buy. Supply is what we expect to produce at a particular price, not what we actually produce. Achha, let me clarify this concept. You in undergrad, when you saw a demand and supply analysis, you saw a set of prices against this. These are the quantity supplied or quantity demanded. Right now,
Yes, sir.
in reality, when you go to a market, do you see 5 or 6 prices, or you see only one price?
One price.
And then, based on that price, you see people demand or supply in a certain way. So this model, when we are showing 5 prices and then 5 corresponding quantity demands or 5 corresponding quantity supplied. So this is each price and quantity relationship is what we expect to buy or sell at that particular price, not what we actually do. And this is shown in McGuigan in this graph. Over here, demand is actually our desired rate of purchase, not what we actually purchase. Actually purchase jodi boli, tale we purchase only at a single price. Can we make a function out of a single price? It will be a point.
No, sir.
Right?
No, no, sir.
We can, but it will be one point. It won't be a line like this. To make a line like this, we need 6 prices and then corresponding quantities.
Slope হবে না আর কি স্যার, স্লোপটা হবে না।
So the model that we're looking at is not actually it doesn't show the actual quantity demanded or supplied at a particular price, but what we expect to do. So there's 3 possibilities. এই জিনিসটা আবার চলে আসছে। আচ্ছা, economics we are expressing the market demand, but there's a problem with this concept. When we add up people's demand and say that this is the total demand of the entire market, we are considering everybody with the same weight, right? When we say at this price, these 10 households are demanding these 10 different quantities. So if I'm a seller, I will want to know the total market demand. What do? I mean, সবগুলো যোগ করব না? At this price, household 1 wants this, household 2 wants this, household 3 wants this. So at this price, the 3 households want the sum total of these 3 quantities. Isn't this the way that we will add?
Yes, sir.
But the problem with this type of analysis is that we are lumping all groups with same value. For example, rich people, they have the same demand as the people in the middle income group and the low income group. That's not a practical thing to do. But the models are developed in this way that everybody is considered the same. This is not at all practical, but this is how we do it. A demand function আমরা আচ্ছা, এই যে now we come to the fun part. Have you seen a demand function like this? Quantity demanded is a function of the price and other variables.
স্যার করেছিলাম স্যার, বাট
No problem, but you must have seen a demand function like this, right?
yes, sir.
Because your demand for a particular commodity cannot be the demand cannot be depending on the price of the commodity. It can also depend on your family size. If your family size is large, then your demand for milk will be more than somebody whose family size is small. If your income is large, then your demand for high-end products will be much more than low-end products if your income was low. So the demand for a particular commodity is the function of many factors. The trouble is we cannot analyze all the factors at the same time. Let me give you an analogy. At udharon dei, when we go to a doctor who a kidney doctor, urologist, what does the urologist assume? He first of all assumes that other than your kidney, all the other organs in your body are functioning properly. এভাবে চিন্তা করে না?
Yes, sir.
And then this is the initial assumption that he makes. Then he can focus only on what is the effect of the kidney on your health. Economics analysis also started like this, that what is the effect of the price on the demand for X? If we ask this question, then we have to isolate the changes in all the other factors. Similarly, there are substitutes and complements. Have you heard these two terms? Substitute goods, complement goods?
Yes, sir.
Acha. How do we define a substitute and a complement? Let me see. You can answer now. If two goods are substitutes, X and Y, what is the relationship between them? Do we consume them at the same time, or we consume one or the other? দুটো গুড X and Y কে যদি আমরা একটাতে আরেকটা সাবস্টিটিউট করি, তাহলে কি আমরা দুটো একসাথে কনজিউম করি নাকি একটা করি আরেকটা করি না? Which one?
Sir, একটা করি আর একটা করি না।
Then in the context of substitute goods, the relationship between X and Y is X or Y. In the context of complement goods, the relationship between X and Y is X plus Y. For example, when we take when we have a cup of tea, we might want to have a biscuit. So biscuits and cup of teas or cup of coffees are consumed together. So when we talk about complements, X and Y is mathematically it becomes X plus Y. If they are substitutes, we either consume X or we consume Y. So the relationship between X and Y is X or Y. Substitute. If X and Y are substitutes, then either X or Y. If X and Y are complements, then X and Y. Then we just add some common sense. If the price of the substitute increases, what happens to the demand for the original good? এই জিনিসগুলো আমরা next class in details দেখবো. If the price of the substitute falls, what happens to the demand for the original good? Similarly, with this thing, with complements. Another very important factor that determines income for something is income. Now, if I am looking at myself only, okay, as my income increases, my demand for certain goods will increase, demand for certain goods will fall, right?
Yes, sir.
Where before you, if you guys are working, before you entered the workplace, you didn't have a salary. Now you have a salary. Now that you have a salary, if you compare yourself now with the past, your demand for certain items have increased. You may go to a coffee shop more often than you did before because you can afford it. So these are known as income superior goods. When the demand for something increases, as income increases, we call them income superior. When the demand for conversely, the demand for which things that we fall, we call them income inferior. In next week, we are going to look at practical examples of these things, which probably you did not look in the undergrad. এটা হচ্ছে high end কনজিউমারদের কিভাবে আমরা অ্যাট্রাক্ট করতে পারি। Number one, just because high end আছে, can't we also try to attract low end customers?
Yes, sir.
Samsung sells phones from 1800 taka to 1,50,000 taka, right? I think the cheapest phone that Samsung throws on the market is 1800 taka. Okay, and the most expensive, that Z Fold, the Z Fold version is probably 1,40,000, 1,50,000, right? এরকম না?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
এমনই কিছু স্যার।
এরকমই একটা কিছু 1,29,000 আচ্ছা 120 ধরি। So what happens is Samsung is throwing different types of phones to cater for different income groups. So their target is how does income affect their goods. So next week what we are going to do, we're going to look at these three examples in more detail, that when we have substitute goods, how do business houses respond? When we have complement goods, how do business houses respond? And how does income affect business houses to make decisions? আচ্ছা এখানে দেখো do you remember these graphs, shifts in demand? Do you remember these graphs, shifts
sir.
in
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
okay shift টা কি? Other than price, if something else influences demand, it can influence it in two ways, either positively or negatively. Something other than price has influenced demand. The price of a substitute good, the price of a complement good, your income, whether that is you or a particular group of people. Okay. So once this thing has been influenced, if it influences demand positively, then there must be a horizontal rightward shift, right? Because any horizontal movement to the right is an increase. Any horizontal movement to the left is a decrease. Right now, visualize the graph. Any horizontal movement to the right is definitely, we understand it as an increase. So it's an increase in demand. Any horizontal movement to the left is a decrease in demand, right?
Yes, sir.
So what we are going to do next week, that if the demand increases, how can, for a particular good or particular case study, how can business houses respond? If a demand falls for whatever reason, how do business houses respond? Now, in the corona times, now it's almost 2 years now, things are slowly starting to become normal. But when we were in the peak of the pandemic, the demand for lots of products fell, but at the same time the demand for lots of products also increased. Online shopping increased, kids were going for online education, so the demand for lots of the computer industry was booming during the pandemic. Right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And
For
Zoom,
example,
sir, Zoom.
Zoom, for example, think about you guys. If there was no pandemic, you would not have bothered to, go for invest in a camera, invest in a microphone, or buy one of these tablets, these tablet pens. Because of the pandemic, the demand for these things increased. So the demand went to the right. At the same time, because of the pandemic, people started to buy less clothes. People started to travel less. So when people traveled less, the service industry got out of control. For example, all the resorts throughout Bangladesh, they were in deep trouble. Right?
Resorts and hotels, sir. Yes, sir.
Hotels, this service industry. For example, if you look at Thailand, Thailand was extremely badly affected during the pandemic. A big portion of their GDP relies on tourism. Because of the pandemic, people could not go to Thailand. They could not travel. Okay, so what happened? Their service industry, the backbone of their economy, just collapsed. So what we will try to do is during the what do you call it, next class, we're going to look at some practical examples. We'll use the graphs and we'll try to develop some case studies, that if the demand increases, what do we do? If the demand falls, how do we respond? Excuse me. Okay. What is this? Oh, supply ক্ষেত্রেও তাই। আচ্ছা, the topics that we are going to look at next week is what practical utility can we get from this week's demand supply analysis, especially the change in demand and supply, more so demand. So if demand increases, how do business houses respond? If demand falls, how do business houses respond? I told you we're going to look at a concept called elasticity of demand. Does anybody remember the concept of elasticity of demand? Okay, you don't remember, but have you heard elasticity of
Sir,
demand?
yes sir, elasticity of demand, yes sir, but concept টা একদম মানে suddenly মাথায় আসছে না, but শুনেছি, হ্যাঁ স্যার।
I know very well that students have a goldfish memory. You know what a goldfish memory is? Whatever you learn, forget in 8 seconds. Right?
Yes, yes sir.
The moment the exam finishes, you forget everything that you learned. No problem. Elasticity.
স্যার
How-
দাম কমলে চাহিদা বাড়ে, দাম বাড়লে চাহিদা কমে, এটা
That's the law of demand, law of supply. That's not elasticity. Elasticity is how quickly or how slowly do we respond to a change.
Oh,
I'm
হ্যাঁ,
not
yes sir.
any kind of details, technical details. Next week we'll do. Thing is, for example, right now we have mentioned these examples in the last classes, in one of the 3 classes, I think. That is, if I have to go to Chittagong right now, ঠিক আছে, আমার নানা বাড়ি Chittagong, right now I have to go. So what's the time now? 8:30 baje, and I have to be in Chittagong within 3 hours. I can't go by bus. I can't go by train. So I have to go by plane. Now, if the am I flexible enough to change my decision? No. So if a plane authority charges me 20% or 30% more, will I start grumbling with them?
No sir.
Same happens during the festival time. The prices of the fares go up, but people are not complaining. The media starts shouting and this and that, but the people who want to go home, are they complaining? They're not complaining because their decision is not flexible. Elasticity is just how flexible are we. If we are flexible, business houses will respond in one way. If consumers are less flexible, business houses will respond in another way. So next week we'll look at the, practical examples of demand shifts to the right and to the left, and practical examples of elasticity. What factors affect elasticity? How can business houses respond to them? ঠিক আছে?
Okay sir.
Okay, so let's get back. Does anybody have any questions to acha, whatever questions you have, please ask in the Facebook group. I normally respond back quickly, and my responses can be shared with others, and any debate will be collaborative. Sorry, you wanted to say something?
স্যার এই জিনিসটা স্যার বুঝে কিভাবে যে স্যার মার্কেট কি কম মানে কম ইলাস্টিসিটি কম না বেশি, এটা বুঝে কিভাবে স্যার?
That's what we'll look at the next class. So বেশি elasticity
স্যার মানে একটা
and the trouble is elasticity in the undergrad, they teach it only in the context of price change. ঠিক আছে? We'll develop a general definition of elasticity, and then you will see that, for example, how many of you go to super shops? মানে যে বড় বড় গ্রোসারি শপ গুলোতে, ইউনিমার্ট, আরো আগোরা,
এখন তো স্যার সবাই যায় মোটামুটি।
when you come to the aisle, have you noticed that there are some things, some items for sale at the cash outlet?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
The
sir.
clearance sale or something.
Why don't they sell fish there? ওখানে ছোট ছোট আইটেম থাকে না?
স্যার ওই স্ন্যাক্স টাইপ আইটেম, হ্যাঁ
chocolate, so
চকলেট, ব্যাটারি থাকে, হ্যাঁ, চুইং গাম থাকে, হ্যাঁ, ছোট ছোট আইটেম থাকে। কেন থাকে? ওখানে মিট এন্ড ভেজিটেবলস এগুলো কেন বিক্রি করে না? Because in the queue,
Most of the time হচ্ছে ছোট ছোট আইটেম গুলো আমরা অনেক সময় ভুলে যাই বা হচ্ছে আমরা যখন দেখি তখন এটার কেনার জন্য একটা এক্সট্রা ইন্টারেস্ট আসে এরকম কিছু।
when you're in the queue, you get impatient. তাই না? Don't you
Yes, sir.
you get impatient যে সামনের জন এত বেশি বাজার টাজার করে ফেলছে, so তো তোমাকে আরো 4-5 মিনিট থাকতে হবে। So because of this impatience and they can all practically তারা এটাও জানে যে when you come to the cash outlet you have finished your shopping, so you have bought your meat which is a big percentage of your budget, you bought your fish, you bought your vegetables, you bought other items, so you don't have in front of the cash outlet they will show tempt you with little things, battery, কি বলে হয়তো একটা বাচ্চাদের ক্লিপ থাকতে পারে, একটা চুলের ক্লিপ, তাই না?
জি স্যার, অনেক সময় স্টেশনারি আইটেমও থাকে।
ছোট ছোট স্টেশনারি very small items থাকে, so ওগুলো দেখে you feel tempted and then probably you will put it in your basket. Don't you see the same thing in airports? Airports এ কি খুব কাজের জিনিস বিক্রি করে?
না স্যার।
Why? Because in the airport you are stuck waiting for the your what do you call it, waiting for your plane. কোনো কাজের জিনিস ওখানে বিক্রি করবে না, because you are irritated, you're impatient, so these are when you are less flexible. ঠিক আছে? When you are more flexible, then business houses will respond in a different way. So what are these factors that make you flexible in decision making, make you less flexible in decision making? This is basically what elasticity of demand is. So this we will try to discuss in detail next week. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Okay, so does anybody have any questions for today? Any questions? Attendance is very bad, 28. Any questions for today, or shall I stop it here?
There are no questions, I feel,
No
sir.
question, sir.
No questions. Okay. তাহলে আমি এটা বন্ধ করছি এখানে, and once the videos are available, I'll share it in the Google Drive and also in the Facebook group. ঠিক আছে?
Okay, sir.
Okay.
So now
Okay, sir.
England versus Australia, which is very important. এই আর কি। তো ঠিক আছে।
ইংল্যান্ড জিতবে স্যার,
জি
ইংল্যান্ড
স্যার।
ইংল্যান্ড জিতবে স্যার।
সবাই impatient, sir.
Because
জি
England
স্যার।
team. Anyhow, okay then, bye.
Thank you, sir. Bye.
আসসালামু আলাইকুম স্যার।
Assalamualaikum, sir.